Students, a very good morning to you all. Today we will start a chapter verb from your grammar textbook. So what is verb? A verb is a word used to describe an action, state or occurrence and forming the main part of the predicate of a sentence such as hear, become, happen. Or we can say that verb show action, state of being and position. Here are some example of verb like walk, hang, stand, pull, throw, push, jump, hold, etc. Now let's understand the types of verb. Principal verb, auxiliary verb, transitive verb, intransitive verb, finite verb and non-finite verb. Non-finite verbs are further divided into infinitives, participles and gerunds. So let's start with the principal and auxiliary verbs. Principal verbs. What are principal verbs? These verbs are also known as main verbs. These verbs can stand alone in a sentence. For example, my mother cooks well. Over here, cooks is your principal verb. She wrote a letter. In the sentence, wrote is your principal verb. Why they are principal verb? As they can stand alone in a sentence. Now auxiliary verbs. What are auxiliary verbs? An auxiliary verb helps the main verb or you can say principal verb and is also called a helping verb. That action happened in the past or is happening in the present or will happen in the future. For example, am, is, are, was, were, all these are your auxiliary verb or helping verb. Now when the verb is followed by the principal verb, it is an auxiliary verb, and when they occur alone in the sentence, they become principal verb. Now how the auxiliary verb can become a principal verb? For example, Aditi is a good dancer. In this, we are not having any other verb. So your auxiliary verb, that is will become principal verb. And see the other example, Aditi is writing a letter. And this writing is your principal verb and is will become your auxiliary verb or you can say helping verb. Now it is clear? Now auxiliary verbs are of two kinds, primary auxiliary and modal auxiliary. Primary auxiliary verbs are am, is, was, are, were. If we see do verbs, there are does, do, did, and have verb like has, have, had, etc. And modal auxiliary verb are can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would, must, and semi-modals like need, dare, used to, etc. Now let's discuss transitive and intransitive verb. So what are transitive verbs? Transitive verbs are action verbs that have an object to receive that action. For example, I bake some cookies. Over here, bake is your transitive verb. Why it is transitive verb? Because it is having object. What is your object? This cookies is your object. That is why your bake will become transitive verb. The other example is I ride the bicycle. And this ride is your transitive verb. Why? Because it is having the object. And I move the chair. Move is your transitive verb because it is having the object, that is chair. Now what are intransitive verb? Intransitive verb are just opposite to transitive verb. What are they? Intransitive verbs are action verbs, but unlike transitive verbs, they do not have an object receiving the action. For example, I laugh. In this, laugh is your verb. Which verb? Intransitive verb. Why? Because it is not having the object to receive this action. The other example, I cry. Cry is your intransitive verb because here is no object. In same with the book falls. Over here, falls is your intransitive verb as it is not having the object to receive the action. Now let's discuss finite verb and non-finite verb. So students, now let's understand what a finite verb. A finite verb is that is limited by the number the person or the tense of its subject. And on the other side, non-finite verb is not limited by the number, the person or the tense of its subject. Now let's understand all these things in detail. So students, now let's see how the verb get changed according to tense. I play football every day. I played cricket every day. Over here, this sentence is in present tense and this sentence is in past tense. So you can see the word play and played. This sentence got changed because of the change of the tense. So your play will be finite verb and played will be finite verb because they are changing because of the change of the tense in the sentence. Now let's see verb change as per person. I run a mile daily. Your second sentence is he runs a mile daily. In your first sentence, your subject is in first person and in second sentence, your subject is in third person. So your verb got changed because of the change of the subject in the sentence. So your these verb will be finite verb. Now let's see change of verb as per number. Singular and plural. Apple is of red color. And the second sentence is apple are of red color. So your verb that is and the other verb that is are got changed because of the change of the number of apple in the sentence. When the apple was singular, your verb was is, and when the apples was plural, your verb was are. So students, we have seen how to identify the finite verbs. How to identify them? They are near the subject, your first rule. The second rule is they change with tense. The third rule is they change with singular and plural subject. And the fourth rule is they change according to the first person, second person and third person. So by these rules, you can easily identify the finite verb in the sentence. Now let's discuss the non-finite verb. As I have already told before that a verb that is not limited by the number, the person or the tense of its subject is known as non-finite verb. The non-finite verb is further divided into participle, gerunds and infinitives. We will discuss gerund first. So what is gerund? When we use a verb in place of a noun, that verb will be called as gerund, and we always add ing to the verb first form. So when we add ing to the verb first form, it will become gerund if it is acting as a noun in a sentence, and it will become present participle if it is acting as a adjective in a sentence. So we will discuss gerund first and present participle we will discuss afterwards. So how to identify gerunds in a sentence? We have seen in a previous class in your subject and object chapter that your subject can either be noun or pronoun. For example, Riya goes to swimming every day. In this, Riya is your noun, or if you say he goes to swimming every day, so he will be pronoun. But there are some exceptions. Let's see some interesting examples. Swimming is good for health. Over here, swimming is your verb, but it is acting as a noun in the sentence. So this swimming will be your gerund. Okay. Writing is an exchange of idea, and the other example is reading helps a lot in learning new things. So writing is acting as a noun in this sentence and reading is acting as a noun in the other sentence. So they will be gerund. So now let's see when gerund come as an object in a sentence. Neha is dancing. She loves cooking. In this, dancing is your object, but it acts as a gerund in the sentence. And same goes with the cooking. It is object but it acts as a gerund in a sentence. So now let's see how to identify participle in a sentence. It is not the main verb in a sentence. It doesn't function as a verb in a sentence, and it functions as an adjective in a sentence. Now let's understand these things in detail. So there are three forms of participle: present participle, past participle, and perfect participle. Now let's discuss present participle. Your present participle is formed by adding verb plus ing. And we have discussed in the gerund, when we were discussing gerund, that gerund is also formed by adding verb plus ing, but it acts as an adjective in a sentence and gerund acts as a noun in the sentence. So let's understand this with example. I really like this dancing doll. So your like is main verb and dancing is the other verb in the sentence. So dancing will be your present participle as it is acting as an adjective in the sentence and it is not the main verb in the sentence. Let's see the other example. He jumped from a running train. So your jumped is your main verb in the sentence and running is the other verb and it is acting as an adjective in the sentence and it is called as present participle. So now let's discuss past participle. So how past participle are formed? Past participle are formed by adding third form of verb and it also acts as an adjective in a sentence. Let's see the example. The broken glass cut my foot. So where broken is your third form of the verb and it is acting as an adjective in a sentence and it is not acting as a main verb and your main verb is cut. So your broken will be past participle and your main verb will be cut. So students, now let's see how the perfect participle are formed. Perfect participle are formed by adding having to the third form of the verb and the perfect participle is the combination of the present and the past participle. For example, having finished my work, I went to play. In this sentence, having finished is your perfect participle. Now let's see what are infinitives. Infinitives is not the main verb in the sentence and it does not change as per the person, number or tense of the sentence. And the easy way to find out the infinitive is it is created by adding to plus verb base form of the word. Okay, for example, to run, to play, to read. So these are the example of infinitives. So students, now let's revise the non-finite verbs. Non-finite verbs are of three kinds: participle, gerunds and infinitive. Participle act as an adjective in the sentence and they are present and past. For example, drunken man, ruined city, misspelled word, etc. Gerund, which act as a noun in the sentence and it ends with ing. For example, seeing is believing, I enjoy studying coins, I enjoy reading, etc. And infinitive, which also act as a noun in a sentence and usually preceded with to. For example, to play is the only thing Pari wants to do once she finishes her exam, and I know this play is brilliant but my friends refuses to watch. So students, I hope you have understood the chapter. So be safe, be at your home. Thank you. Have a good day.